What if I tell you that the greatest lie when it comes to success, when it comes to modern success history, isn't so much about strategies. It's not about skills. It's not about time management, but it's about something really key. It's about this thing known as willpower. That somehow, through willpower, you can push through anything. Today, my friend, we are going to shatter that myth. We're going to go deep into that and show you that, as a matter of fact, there's much more to life than just this thing called willpower. My friend, welcome to day 3 of this success tracking framework that we've been actually going over the past few days. Today we are taking a deep look into something really key known as energy management mastery. Yesterday was time management mastery. Today it's energy management mastery. We're going to take a look at this concept and how this can actually take you from where you are all the way to where you're supposed to be. As a matter of fact, I would describe it as the missing link between where you are right now and where God designed you to be. The missing link is this thing known as how to master this thing known as your energy. And this is something key you don't want to miss. As a matter of fact, before we go any further, let me just say something really key. When it comes to this thing known as time management, I know yesterday I took close to 20 minutes to actually talk about it. But today I'm going to go deeper, just to tell you something really key. The higher you go, the more you're going to realize that people over there don't talk about time the same way that we do. As a matter of fact, this is how most middle class people actually talk. Yeah, time is money. My time is money, so on and so forth. But at the highest level, they don't look at time as money. The most precious thing that they want to protect is not so much their time. Yes, they have gatekeepers to keep certain people away from them, to keep certain distraction away from them. But the most important thing that they want to protect is not so much time. It's something more precious than that. You want to know what it's called? It's called energy. They go to great length to protect their energy because they understand precisely this is the missing link between where they used to be and where they are supposed to be now. So they protect this thing because this is precisely what helped them get to the top and stay there. As a matter of fact, before I go into my presentation, let me just tell you something really key. Yesterday I was talking about two people, Susan and John, working for the same office, having gone to the same school, having graduated from the same university, now working for the same company. And before working for the company, they had access to basically the same type of work experience. Yet on a daily basis, by the time work hours are finished, Susan always manages to accomplish much more than John. Yet they have the same pace, the same baggage as far as where they're coming from is concerned. So how does she do that? Yes, yesterday I talked about something key known as time management. But today we're going to go into something even more deeper, which is simply the energy. Because once you learn how to protect that energy, once you learn how to first access it and protect it, you're going to see yourself basically going from where you are all the way to a completely different stratosphere. And this is something key that you don't want to miss. Welcome to Mountain of Inspiration. And before we go any further, let me just briefly introduce myself. I am the gentleman who's simply on fire about seeing you simply find a way to re-engineer your potential so we can find a way to 10x your result within 12 months. All right, let's get right into it. I know when I say energy, some people say, oh my goodness, I don't want to hear it. No, please. Turn it off. Now I say, please bear with me. As a matter of fact, before we go any further, let me just tell you a very brief story, just to tell you that, yes, success is not so much about working harder. It's not just about mastering this thing called time management. No, it's not so, because there are many people out there who work long hours, yet they're not successful. And I'll give you a perfect example why you have to pay attention to this thing known as energy management mastery. And this is something key you're only going to find at the Mountain Inspiration Academy. Let me get into that. In 1853, a young family upper class, middle class, but upper class, and welcome a boy that looked very ordinary by all accounts. He started growing up, and eventually the principal said, yeah, we need to actually give this young boy some exposure to real life, so we're going to ship him to boarding school. He didn't like the boarding school, so they took him from the boarding school to a different boarding school, and they made things even worse. Eventually, the young boy started working for one of his uncles, who was an art dealer, and he was doing very well. As a matter of fact, he started making even more money than his father. But because he was a bit rebellious, when he moved from London, he went back to Paris. The young man became a renegade, to the point where his new employer decided to simply give him the pink slip. So he was actually fired. From that position, he went on to many different things. He started working as a teacher and tutor, and ultimately he said to himself, I think I'm going to do something really key. Like my grandfather, I'm going to go into ministry. I'm going to become a minister. And because I know that success is all about working hard, so I'm going to work hard and give this thing all I can to get to the next level. He started studying countless hours in the books, facing the books, hoping to get enough knowledge and understanding of what was required of him as a young theologian, or as more specific, as someone trying to become a minister. He started studying. But guess what? Not once, but twice, he failed to pass the test that was supposed to be the work that everyone had to go through before being considered when it comes to the next level of training. So he became completely depressed. But in his depression, he said to himself, if I can get the qualification, if I can get the ladder that was simply saying I went to a higher place of learning to become a minister, at least I can go work as a missionary. Because to work as a missionary, at the end of the day, I don't need any paper. I can just say, yes, God sent me, I'm going to go somewhere, I'll work and I'll be fine. And that's what he did. He went to a very poor part of this country known as Belgium, where people were actually working in the course every single day. So it was a very dirty place, rock bottom. He goes to work there and he says, I need to find a way to let these people know that I am one of them. So I'm going to find a way to really humble myself. I'm going to start living like all these poor people. And he started doing that. But the local people somehow say, but this is odd. Why is this minister or this missionary trying to act like a poor person like us? Because at the end of the day, he's supposed to be the light for us. So they started looking at him with a very strange eye. Ultimately, the church found out what he was doing. The church decided to fire him. Not before the local people were also ready to expel him, because they said this man is way too unorthodox as a minister. So he failed to qualify to go to the next level as a theologian, to go and become a minister. He failed also as a missionary. So at that point, the young man became even ultra depressed. He says, I told him all it took just time management and working hard. I've been working hard and doing everything I can, but I'm not going anywhere. And he started basically wandering. He goes back to his family place because they wanted to actually see what was happening with him. And he spent some time with them, and he falls in love with one of his cousins by the name of Key. So as he falls in love with his cousin, he takes her for a walk, and as they're walking, he starts expressing his feelings towards his cousin Key. He says, I would like to marry you. Would you ever consider to actually marry me? And here's the answer. Here's the answer. She says, no, nay, never. So out of what she says, no, nay, never. So it is absolutely out of the question. Even in my wildest dreams, even in my worst nightmares, I don't see that becoming a possibility. Me getting married to you. Why? Because I can see that you're not going anywhere. You are basically unable to sustain yourself. So therefore, you are absolutely out of your mind to consider that I'm ever going to consider getting married to you. The young man was heartbroken and kept on going. Until ultimately he says, when I was a young man, I used to love drawing. I was not the best, but I used to love drawing. How about I actually get back into that? One thing leads to another, and he was actually given a chance to now go and now start studying to qualify for something in this field. And as he started doing that, something really key happened. Between 1881 and 1890, the young man now all of a sudden was able to calibrate his energy, calibrate his mind, calibrate his body, calibrate his emotion, and started producing his body of works. More than 1,500 pieces he put together between 1881 and 1890 when he finally passed away. Books of history come to remember this young man as Vincent van Gogh. Welcome to day 3. My friend, today the agenda is really packed. So let me just give you the agenda first of all, and after that we're going to get into the more specifics. I want to give you the story so you know exactly that, yes, when I say it's not about time management, it's not about the skills, it's not about any strategies, it's not about any of that, it's not even about willpower, but it's about recalibrating your energy, finding a way to recalibrate yourself. And once you find a way to recalibrate yourself, you're going to discover the missing link between where you are and where God has designed for you to be. All right, let's just get into the agenda. For today's session, we're going to be talking about 4 key sections. Section 1, we're talking about the energy paradigm shift. Section 2, we're talking about the 4 energy dimensions. Section 3, we're talking about energy management principle. And section 4, we're talking about implementation for a framework. And after that, we're going to conclude. All right, let's get right into it. Section number 1, the energy paradigm shift. Let me just go with this. Why does traditional productivity models actually fail? For many different reasons. I'll give you just a few statistics just to tell exactly where we are right now. The burnout epidemic. Statistics show that up to 77% of professionals experience burnout. 77%. And also, the myth of constant productivity, always being working, always being on 24/7, like the city of New York City, is not really helping anyone. And as a matter of fact, we come to realize that pushing harder is not always the better way. Number 2. Number 3, the cost of ignoring the natural rhythm that actually embedded in all of us is causing many of us to actually get to a place of decreased performance, health issues, and spiritual disconnection. Last but not least, we have come to understand that yes, time management alone is not sufficient. There are many people out there who have mastered the art of time management. Yet, when it comes to where to see themselves, they are still spinning. They are still spinning. They're actually making things happen. They are getting ahead. But in terms of their own calibration, of their own balance, they feel like they are not where they are supposed to be. Why? Because the quality of time matters more than the quantity. At the end of the day, as I keep saying to people, in a battle between quality and quantity, quality will always win. So let's go into the Bible very quickly. Genesis chapter 2, verse 2, from verse 2 to verse 3. What do we see in the very beginning of the Bible? It simply says, on the seventh day, God took a break. On the seventh day, God took a break. That's just a principle that you cannot ignore in this world that is over-obsessed with the concept of always being working 24/7. On the seventh day, he took a rest from his work. So that's number 1. Number 2, in the book of Psalm 127, verse 2, it simply says, it is vain for you to rise early and to go to bed late and to eat the bread of sorrow. It is vain for you to do that. Why? Because there must be a better way for you to achieve success without having to kill yourself literally through work. And also something really key. In the book of Mark, chapter 6, verse 31, Jesus simply says, it says to the disciple, come away and rest for a while. Come away and rest for a while. And this is something really key that we have to simply put back in the center when it comes to how to achieve success in this season. The Sabbath principle is absolutely important. You have to embed that in your agenda because this is a ritual on a weekly basis that's going to bring you to a place of spiritual renewal. All right? So let's go to something really key. You have to understand your personal energy matrix. There are 4 dimensions of energy. We're going to get to that in the next section. Is to come to a place where you have to learn how your energy, your individual energy actually works in terms of patterns, in terms of chronotype, because we are all built differently. And number 3, you have to look at the impact of the environment on your energy level, because where you are could be the wrong place for you to be in terms of manifesting all you were supposed to be. Vincent van Gogh saw himself as a missionary. He went to Belgium, in the poorest part of Belgium, because they wanted to be close to the people to serve them. But what he did not understand is it was designed, the chronotype, it was designed, the pattern, it was designed to be an artist. It was designed to be the Michelangelo of his generation. But instead of actually painting a Sistine Chapel, he wanted to go there to do work of a priest. And the people somehow felt that yes, his energy was off. So they rejected him. Not because he was not competent, not because they did not care, but simply because they said that the energy he was putting into that was the wrong energy. They simply said that he had a vocation to do much more than just to be a missionary. Because the impact of the environment on your energy level is something key that you cannot overlook. You also have to look at the role of purpose in energy optimization. Vincent van Gogh, the minute he realized exactly what his purpose was, is energy. My goodness, number 1, the optimization of his whole life shoot through the roof to the point where in less than 10 years he was able to paint over 1,500 masterpieces. Why? Because he found himself all of a sudden properly calibrated. Let's move to section number 2. The 4 energy dimensions. Number 1, I would simply call them the P pens. So P for physical, E for emotional, M for mental, and S for spiritual. Let's go to the physical part. It may be different as far as our bodies are concerned, as far as our personas are concerned, but there's something key that we all have to understand. There's something called the circadian rhythm optimization. Everyone has different way of actually living their life. Some people love to work in the morning, others love to work later in the afternoon. But we simply have to know when your body is simply asking you to rest. Because once you know exactly when your body is asking you to rest, it's simply going to help you to optimize how you use your energy on a daily basis. That's number 1. Nutrition as a fuel. You have to know that yes, when it comes to your body is a temple. Once you learn how to feed your body properly, you are simply taking care of the body. And as you're taking care of the temple will take care of you. Number 3, substance and spiritual renewal. So it goes without saying that once you learn how to sleep properly, once you learn how to listen to the rhythm of your body, you're going to simply start optimizing your energy on a daily basis. Movement pattern for energy enhancement, so you know exactly what it means. Practical strategy I'm glad to share with you. I've been saying it for the past few months. Yes, very quickly, energy boosting breathing exercises. It's absolutely important for you to pay attention to how you breathe on a daily basis. Deep breathing is not just something that you do when you're basically in the midst of a trouble. It's something you can practice on a daily basis that's going to help you recalibrate yourself on a daily basis and help you optimize yourself when it comes to the output you're going to have. Yeah, strategic meal timing. Make sure that you eat at specific times so your body knows exactly what to expect as far as how you take care of it, because again, your body is a temple. Find a way to give yourself permission to take power nap every single day if you can, because as I was saying yesterday, Donovan Bailey in August 1996 in Atlanta, before the final race for the 100 meter at the Olympics, he went for a power nap. When he came out of the power nap, they checked his blood pressure, they checked his heartbeat, and they realized that yes, this young man had managed to bring his heartbeat all the way down to 36 beats per minute. Again, 36 beats per minute, which is completely low, which means that the man was beyond calm. He was calm, he was so confident, he was so sure of the outcome that he became the champion even before the race had already started. Again, last but not least, make sure that yes, we understand our body are not designed to sit, our body are designed for movement. So from time to time, after 90 minutes of work, give yourself permission just to get up and stretch your body, because that's how you're going to also to recalibrate your mind and your body. Second quadrant, emotional energy. So okay, this is very key. You have to understand the difference between emotional intelligence and energy management. I mean, how basically emotional intelligence speak to energy management. how you see yourself, how you understand the concept of emotional intelligence is going to also have an effect when it comes to how you manage your energy. That's number one. Number two, make sure to develop a protocol when it comes to stress response management. If anything is happening, what are you going to do? What is your tribe? Who are part of your tribe? What are the mechanisms you put in place when it comes to how to speak to any type of trouble coming your way? So this is something very key. Where are you going to go for prayer? Who are the people going to get on the phone as prayer partner to help you pray through whatever you're actually going through? And that's something key that you have to also put in place. You also have to understand that there's a key relation between your thoughts and the energy level. If your thoughts are basically where they're not supposed to be, my friend, your energy level is going to be low. This is the reason why the Apostle Paul talks about this key thing. He says, above all things, if you can only do one thing, focus on thinking about things or thoughts of excellence. Because the more you think about excellence, the more you saturate your mind with thoughts of excellence, what's going to happen is it's going to simply increase your energy when it comes to your output as far as everything is concerned. Consider, of course, biblical principle for emotional stability. There are many principles you can actually consider, and here are some practical solution I'm going to actually put before you. Consider emotional energy audit. There's going to be a link below this video to actually help you go through this audit. Consider putting together some gratitude practice on a daily basis. Consider actually putting together something key, which is boundary setting. Learning how to say no when it comes to your emotional energy. Learning how and when to say no to certain invitations that basically won't take you anywhere. Last but not least, relationship energy management. Let's move to the third part. Mental energy, your cognitive powerhouse. Focus and attention management, something really key that you have to consider. This decision fatigue prevention, something also key. You have to find a way to prevent it from happening at the beginning of the day. As a matter of fact, the night before the day, what are the rituals you put in place to make sure that the day when it starts, you're already in a place where you're minimizing distraction. Do you know what clothes you're going to wear the day in the morning? Do you know exactly where you're going to be in the week? Do you know exactly how you plan everything as far as the week is concerned? Because the more you do that, the more you're going to reach the same place as Barack Obama by simply making sure that, yes, everything he was supposed to wear as a president, he knew ahead of time. This is how precisely he was able now to decrease this thing known as decision fatigue at the highest level. Creative energy optimization, learning and growth mindset, absolutely key. Give yourself permission to actually read. Here are some practical things that you can consider. Monotasking protocol, instead of actually just trying to do many things at the same time, try to focus on just one key thing as you give yourself 90 minutes of uninterrupted work. When you get into this practice of just working for 90 minutes without any distraction and taking a break for 20 minutes after that, my friend, slowly but surely you're going to recalibrate your mind and to start going from a place of being scattered to a place of greater focus. Mental energy tracking at the beginning of the day, midday, and end of the day. Do you ask yourself the question, where is my energy right now? Where am I in terms of my mental energy? Where am I in terms of my physical energy? This is something key, a key protocol that you have to put in place as far as your life is concerned. And last but not least, environment optimization. Make sure that you're always surrounded by people and things that can help you optimize your energy as opposed to deplete it. Last but not least, the most important one, spiritual energy. Do you start the day with through prayer and meditation? If not, that's something I'm going to kindly ask you to consider. Purpose aligned action. Make sure that everything that you do on a daily basis, on a yearly basis, is actually aligned with your purpose. Because this guy, for example, Vincent van Gogh, he was actually burning the tires before coming to a realization in 1881 that he was actually meant to be an artist. He was burning the tire. He was doing all, quote unquote, the right things. But he was not going anywhere, simply because everything he was doing was not aligned with who he was designed to be. So this is the reason why he was always operating from a place of low energy. Community and spiritual support. As I was saying, you need to have a tribe of people that are going to support you, not only through your crisis, but also through your vision. Divine wisdom in decision making. Do you seek the face of the Lord when it comes to making a decision? That's something key that you have to incorporate when it comes to everything that you do. A perfect story. In the early 1990s, when this young man by the name of Larry Page was actually sleeping And he saw in his sleep this vision about this company was going to put together. And he woke up and started writing it down. He made the vision plain. And guess what? Eventually, the vision started actually becoming a reality. He went to Yahweh and said, no, we are already here. We are the biggest people as far as this thing is concerned. You are not going to go anywhere. But guess what? Ultimately, Yahweh went nowhere. Google became the reference. So again, pay attention to divine instruction when it comes to where you want to go and how to make your decision. Here are some strategies. Morning spiritual routine, absolutely very important. Purpose reminder system, that's very important. Community engagement, absolutely important, because you are not a man living as an island. You have to make sure that you live surrounded by people who can help you fine-tune the energy of who you are and fine-tune more specifically the purpose that was actually given to you as a gift. Last but not least, wisdom journaling. Section number 2, let's move very quickly. Energy management principle. I would simply call it the 1920 rule for peak performance. Again, as I was been saying since yesterday, it is important for you to work in blocks of 90 minutes. And after that, give yourself permission to take either 15 or 20 minutes time of break. Make sure that you align with spiritual, with natural, ultradian rhythm. So make sure that everything that you do is based on how your body is designed. Take a break when your body is asking you to take a break, as opposed to push using your willpower to make things happen. That's wisdom speaking. Strategic energy investment, and that's something that you can also consider. And let's move to the next part. Energy enhancement rituals. Again, as I was saying, morning power routine. It's very important to consider. Midday reset protocol. It doesn't take more than a minute, sometimes just 30 seconds, just to renew yourself wherever you are. Evening wind down practice and weekly renewal system. In terms of strategic recovery practices, active recovery technique, I would simply say, like exercise, you can go for a walk. Passive recovery method, simply fall asleep or take a power nap like Donovan Bailey before the race in 1996. Spiritual restoration practices, make sure you attend as many meetings as possible or places or events that can help you renew who you're supposed to be, either webinars or retreat places that can help you renew a sense of clarity as far as the purpose is concerned, because your purpose, once it's actually clear, is simply now going to give you a place, bring you to a place where your energy is going to be optimized. And once it's optimized, that's when slowly but surely going to become unstoppable. Social energy management, and that's something we'll care as well. And let's move to the next part. Aligning energy with divine purpose. Yeah, make sure that your purpose is actually something you pay attention to on a daily basis. Because the amount of energy you put into the purpose that you have is going to determine ultimately how much energy you're going to have on a daily basis. Make sure that on a daily basis that your decision making are based on your values, based on the values that you have, based on the belief that you have, and not based on the circumstances in which you may find yourself. Make sure that everything that you do is from a place of a kingdom-focused productivity. You're not just working like people who don't know that, yes, there must be order in what you do. You are working knowing that, yes, at the end of the day, I must respect the key thing known as Sabbath. I must respect the key thing known as rest. Rest is very important because rest is also part of the work I'm supposed to do as far as my purpose is concerned. In terms of audit, again, same thing. Make sure that you do that on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, in order for you not to only track what is happening, but also to renew yourself, and also ultimately on a monthly basis to simply recalibrate yourself as far as what you do is concerned. Don't just stop there. Go also on to a quarterly basis. And so how do you create a personal energy map? Very simple. Start by looking at things like energy peak identification, energy drain analysis, recovery requirement assessment, and strategic energy allocation. And if you need help as far as this is concerned, please reach out to us. We're going to help you go from where you are all the way to the next level. And how do you design your energy management system? Again, to 4 things. Morning routine design, daily energy reschedule, weekly planning protocol, and monthly optimization review. And how do you integrate all of this as far as success is concerned? Make sure that you actually work with something key. Work with energy metrics in terms of tracking your success. Focus on performance correlation analysis. Focus on adjustment protocol, and focus more specifically on long-term optimization strategy. Now, before I go, something here I want to say. Your energy is sacred. It is the currency of your purpose. It is the fuel for your divine calling. Today, you've gained more than just knowledge. You've received the keys to unlocking sustainable success. But this is just the beginning. The principle we've covered today, from understanding your energy matrix to implementing strategic recovery practices, these are not just blah, 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 blah. No, my friend. They are battle-tested strategies that have transformed countless lives, including my very own. Remember, my friend, managing your energy is not just about doing more. It's about being more specific, being more present, being more impactful, and more specific, last but not least, being more aligned with your divine purpose. Why this is particularly important? Because I keep saying, this young man, Vincent van Gogh, before 1881, it was basically going nowhere. It thought that through willpower, it could actually go on to make history. But willpower simply said, no. My friend, as long as the divine purpose, the gift that you're carrying, is not brought to the surface, I'm not going to allow you to go to your next level. Your next level is going to be through your purpose. So find a way to rediscover your purpose. Because once you find a way to rediscover your purpose, you're going to come to a place where the Romans philosopher talked about. They say every man has to discover something really key. It's called vocation. And you know how they used to describe vocation in Rome? Vocation, they simply say voco ad Deo, meaning God is calling me. So what is God calling you to do? What is God calling you? Because once you discover what God is calling you to, what's going to happen is simply going to realign everything as far as your life is concerned, and you're going to come to a place, everything will become effortless. My friend, here's the funny thing. We sometimes believe that we need to get more skills, more education, more talent enough for us to become impactful. But we realize as well that yes, despite all the skills, in spite of all the talent, in spite of all the achievement, somehow we're not getting the respect that we deserve. Because intuitively, people know when you are not where you're supposed to be. You may have the money, you may have the car, you may have all the accolades you can possibly imagine. But once you are misaligned, people will sense it. And as they sense it, they will never give you the respect that you so deserve. But once someone has found your purpose and have realigned with the purpose, the energy level will simply increase. And as they increase, they will start commanding great amount of respect, even from jail. Between 1963 and all the way to 1990, for 27 years, this man was in jail. But guess what? Because he was so aligned with his purpose, even from jail, he was now commanding the type of charisma and aura that caused the people on the outside to come looking for him to say, yes, we have reached an impasse as far as the country is concerned. Please come out and help us restructure this country. And the books of history came to know this man as Nelson Mandela. In every one of us there is a Nelson Mandela. In every one of us there is a Joseph. Someone who is in jail right now. Because he needs or she needs to rediscover the purpose. And once you rediscover your purpose and you realign everything with that purpose, slowly but surely, what's going to happen is the 4 quadrants of energy are going to come alive. Physically, you're going to become much more powerful. Emotionally, you're going to become much more powerful. Mentally, you're going to become much more powerful. And spiritually, you're going to become much more powerful. And once the 4 quadrants are on, my friend, that's when you're going to become on, even when you're sleeping. Why? Because people are going to come to sense that there is someone, somewhere that we need to get to. And if there seem to be all doors completely locked, they're going to find a way to go through the roof, because they're going to sense that there is a particular anointing or a particular aura or a particular charisma they are sensing about you. They need to come to you because you alone can help them also unlock access to their own purpose. And once they also access their own purpose, what's going to happen is their life will also become changed the way that it was so supposed to be. Again, the missing link between where you are and where God has designed for you is simply one key thing: your energy. And your energy is simply going to be optimized once you rediscover your purpose, and you start making sure that on a daily basis you do everything to protect that purpose, and you do everything within your power to protect your energy. All right, much love. I'm out.